Hello all, welcome to Brown Girl Banter. I am Dr. Patience.
And I am Dr. Dangerfield, and today's topic is about microaggression and
Don't touch my hair.
you know, how many times have you been in a situation where you have either seen someone walk up randomly wanting to touch, or they will just take the liberty of just touching your hair out of where'd they come from?
What is that? It's like out of curiosity. As you know, we both love to wear our natural looks,
Yes.
especially before I cut my hair off. And
Yes.
I remember being in an elevator at a hotel and my husband's next to me and this lady's like, your hair is so amazing, because when I go big, it's like go big or go home. So my
Right.
natural looks be huge, you know? And this lady touched my hair and I could see the fear in my husband's eyes in that elevator.
Oh, she didn't want to do that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that lady. And even her friends, who seems like they knew what was appropriate and inappropriate, they were even looking like, oh, please don't beat our friend up. Please don't. And I was so polite about it. And I could feel myself, kind of holding back, because I could sense the energy in the elevator, which I was kind of disappointed in myself for being willing to do that. But I was just thinking to myself, like, what gave her the nerve, the audacity, and why? Why did you feel the need to want to touch my hair?
Yes.
Oh, it's annoying.
Yeah, it is. Because I remember I was at a graduation over the weekend, and out of the corner of my eye, my sister, is wearing her hair natural, and she had it back in a nice little puff.
Yeah.
And I could see this lady's hand getting ready to touch. And I was like, oh, she does not want to do that. And I was like, you don't want to do that.
Don't, not today.
I said, because that will not be a good look on you. Because, one, I know my sister's personality.
Exactly. I know how this can end.
And it was not going to end well. But fortunately, the lady with her was like,
Good.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. As you know, I was telling you, I have a little girl. She's 5, Zuri. And Zuri can wear her hair in a multitude of ways. So one, the fascination with that. Don't come to my daughter and ask her, oh, your hair is different today, or how's your hair, or how did you do that, or is that your hair? Okay, so is that your hair? Don't come to me asking me, is that my hair?
Because I don't ask you those questions.
Those questions never come up to you, so why are you having the audacity to come ask me or my daughter such questions?
Yes.
And so Zuri, we bought a book recently by Cherie Miller, and it's called Don't Touch My Hair. And when I tell you, she has just really gravitated to this book. She's like, Mommy, I love this book. I want to read this book tonight. And she's just been asking and asking. And I'm like, wow, the amazing experience of just watching this. Like, she's going through this now as a 5-year-old, as I'm going through it in my 30s something age. And so it's amazing, because she says to me, like, people at school, when she wears her hair in braids or beads or puffs or straight or whatever, that people are constantly trying to touch her hair. And like, she has a 1-year-old sister, Emery, and we'll go drop Zuri off at school and I let Emery kind of roam. And you can see the little kids wanting to touch Emery's little curly, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, my children are not animals at a zoo.
Right, where they're like almost like petting to see the texture and the feel of it.
And I feel like this book, and thank you, Cherie Miller, shout out.
Yes.
That book has really empowered Zuri. I can tell, like, when it gets to this part where the little girl is fed up and she finally says, don't touch my hair. I mean, Zuri, like, yells it all loud. Like, don't touch my hair. I'm like, and I can tell that means something to her.
Yes.
And it gives her freedom, and it helps her set boundaries. And so I am so appreciative of those opportunities to teach her that, because she needs that, just like I have to do it. My sweet 5-year-old daughter,
she has to do the same thing. Yes.
Amazingly, in 2019, has to do the same thing.
And you would think by now that it shouldn't be a surprise or like an anomaly or something when you're like, your hair is different. Because for years, we as women of color have been able to change our hair, and we're not the only ones that use weave, get dreads. But then also the other thing is, when did hair become an HR issue?
When did hair become an HR issue? Because I mean, is it that fearful for you? Does it?
Yes.
Is it that making you that nervous
Mhm.
because I'm in locks today
Yeah.
and I got my front lace on tomorrow? Like, why is that bothering you?
Yeah, what
so?
makes that so different?
Exactly. You were telling me a story about an HR something that you read with hair. What was it?
Yeah, where with this young lady, she was, it's in a book that I was reading by Austin Channing Brown. It says, "I'm Still Here," and in her book, she actually talks about different things that happen to us as people of color that people don't understand. And she was just talking about how someone wanted to touch her hair in her office, and she set up a boundary with them, but it ended up being an HR issue, not really because of her hair, but because of her response. And it wasn't like it was a negative response. It was like you didn't feel threatened by the way you responded. And those are HR issues that we hear. We hear where people have been fired from jobs because of dreads, or saying you can't wear dreads to work, or you can't wear your natural hair to work. Because I've been in a couple of situations where I was a speaker at an organization, and I think I used to go speak there quite often, but the time that I decided to wear my own natural hair, I haven't been invited back.
Wow. See, that is amazing. I mean, I know it shouldn't be. Somebody's probably looking like, really, lady? It's amazing to you, really?
Yes.
And I mean, I think that's the lack of a better word to use. I mean, maybe I'm just sugarcoating frustration and annoyance, more than anything. But it's just amazing to me that you can look at me and base a decision on not my intellect, right?
Or the skill that I brought to the table.
Hello, but it's my hair that is intimidating you or making you uncomfortable, or you don't understand it and so you don't know what to do with it. And I mean, for so long I feel like women of color have constantly dialed back, right? Sugarcoated, done whatever to fit in and to conform.
Yeah, because we went through straightening of hair for the longest. We would, get the perms in our hair, the relaxers,
taking our hair out
before we went, before we took our power back.
Exactly.
And become more natural hair queens, where you're seeing more natural hairstyles in the workplace or in the streets, where we're like, okay, I'm going to be empowered to really show up as who I am.
Yeah. And I always wonder, and this is maybe the therapist in me or what, right? Because I love human behavior and like, how do we get to this place, right? And I'm always wondering, like, okay, so is the hair a representation of non-conforming, right? And so now I'm looking at you and you are not conforming
to
anymore.
To the world standards. Or
and
what
like,
we think are the world standards.
Right. Like, they're trying to be a movement.
Yes.
They're trying to be empowered. And I'm not, and so on a conscious or subconscious or unconscious, I can't remember all the conscious levels, but
some kind of conscious
levels, is that what's happening, right? Like, oh goodness, that's making me uncomfortable because that doesn't look like you're trying to conform. You're an outlier. You might be a rebel. Look at this hair. Not sure about you.
So this is how I can contain you.
I'm just saying. I'm spelling a C-O-N-spiracy out in your books. I mean, it's just something to think about, right? Yes. I mean, think about the boy with the dreads who had to cut his hair at the wrestling match.
Yes.
Right?
Where someone took liberty, crossed his boundary, and cut his hair.
But was that because I need you to conform? You don't look like the other wrestlers. You're not doing what the other wrestlers are doing. So now, to put you in a box.
Yes. Because I think about even my godson, he went to private school, and it was certain limitations of how the athletes of color could wear their hair, or even their facial hair, all of that, because they were constrained, because they didn't want them to look out of uniform.
Exactly. But my thing is, well, then you can't come into the workplace or the classroom or whatever and say, we promote diversity.
No,
you can't say that.
No,
you can't say that and then continue to throw microaggressive insults or whatever at people constantly. Then that you're not speaking your truth.
No, and in our programs, especially as mental health professionals, what do we learn about? We learn about cultural competency.
Mm-hmm.
So part of our culture is the differences in hair texture, hairstyles. That's one way that we express our culture.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you become, is it being more culturally competent? Are you more culturally humanity, our humility?
Mm-hmm.
Put that instead of, are we trying to learn more about each other, but we put these barriers up because I don't have to learn about why you wear your hair that way, or because that's a non-factor.
That's a non-factor. I'm just saying. Sounds like it to me, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, the hair component of things. I mean, how many friends? I used to be in leadership, and so
Mm-hmm.
we hired a young lady who came in, and I think, I'm not gonna lie, this probably did impact my decision
Mm-hmm.
because one, she was super gifted, talented,
Yes.
a
Mm-hmm.
great clinician, really was ambitious and really
Okay.
wanted to do the work. But my girl came in with the biggest fro of life. And to me, I felt like if she can do that,
Mm-hmm. She's showing up as who she is. She's being authentic.
she's being authentic. And what more do I want with the clients that we're serving?
It's somebody's going to be genuine and authentic. They're going to show up as who they are.
And she did that. And
Mm-hmm.
so on top of that, here comes this licensed clinician with great experience
Mm-hmm.
who also was good at what they do. I'm like,
Mhm.
we hired her that day
Yes.
on the spot. We were like, you are a perfect fit for this
Because
position.
you knew what she would bring to the table.
You knew what she would bring to the table. And so I think that if we can, as women of color, any color, can continue to get that sense of self and that sense of
Yes,
purpose,
that's
right?
the
And
empowerment.
Yes, and
To
be
show up as who
comfortable.
we are.
Be authentic and not back down and water ourselves down to conform.
To conform. To
I
be in
mean-
someone, to be in someone else, to make someone else feel comfortable.
Exactly.
That's basically
That's
what it always
it.
is, trying to make help, and a lot of times we do tend to shrink back and not truly show up as who we are.
Mhm.
And it's more than about our hair.
Mhm.
It's really just showing up as who we are as people and in our person, because we don't want somebody else to feel intimidated or to question why.
Exactly.
So we tend to shrink back and not show up,
Mhm.
100%, because we're questioning how would that be taken.
Yeah, that's it. And I always say, I think it's been inbred, like we've been
Mhm.
learned that
It
over
is,
culture
yes.
and generations to be that way,
Mhm.
right? And I'm going to say this, the prominent or dominant or whatever, main culture, majority culture,
Culture.
has also been
Which is
taught.
which is getting smaller.
Yes, it has also been taught a
Yeah.
particular way about how
Yes.
to receive us and how to respond
Mhm.
to us.
Yes.
I mean, we were recently just laughing about an episode of Frasier that we both were watching.
Yes.
Yes, I watch Frasier at night, people. That's my show. And so when Kim Cole was on there
Yes.
as Dr. Mary, right, and Frasier did not know how to address
That's
or
her.
approach her as an
Mhm.
African American woman. And I think that
And he was trying very hard not to overstep boundaries,
Mhm.
when in some cases some of his boundaries were being stepped upon
Exactly.
because he didn't know how to respond.
He didn't, and it's because in him, he wasn't taught how to confront,
Yes.
a woman of color without these false or irrational ideas
Ideas,
about how
yes.
she was going to respond.
Mhm.
And so I think that, but if we continue, like you said, just to show up as who we are,
Mhm.
right, and model, but also teach. And I'm
Yes.
like, I know we're tired of teaching, Lord.
But that's part of it. That's part of it.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we want to be treated a particular kind of way. We're going to have to continue to educate folks
Yes.
on
To
how
let-
to treat us.
Yes, to let people know that I'm human.
I'm human.
And our cultural differences are not what should separate us,
Exactly.
but also bring some sameness about it for us.
I agree with
Yeah.
you 100%. Man, we could talk about this hair stuff forever,
Forever.
couldn't
Yes,
we?
we could.
And we've only touched on microaggression with hair, but
right,
we talk
so
about
many
hair
things.
because as African American women who
That
work
is
in
our
corporate America,
What's our crown of
Yes.
glory?
Of glory. Hello. I mean, and just as women who've worked in leadership in
Yes.
corporate America, we understand, and this has just really been a dialogue that it's something we got to talk
Talk
about.
about,
I
yes.
mean, we could talk about different microaggressions and be here all night.
Yes, and we will circle back around to some more,
We always will.
because that's what Brown Girl Banter is all
It's
about.
all about
Is those conversations.
Yes. So
Yes.
it's exciting. So we appreciate you listening to us, and we look forward to meeting with you next time. We'll have a different topic next
Yes.
week. It's what?
We're going to talk about formation,
Yes.
code switching.
Code switching. We're talking a little Destiny's Child versus formation, right?
Yes.
Can you pay my bills to
To get into formation.
Hello. So I'm excited about that one. That's going to be a really good topic. So we look forward to talking to you all next time. Thanks for joining us for Brown Girl Banter. I'm Dr. Patience.
And I'm Dr. Dangerfield.
See you next time, guys.
Yeah.